Good evening, and welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, John, and tonight we have a special guest with us, Alice, an expert in programming and software development. Welcome to the show, Alice.
Thank you, John. It's great to be here.
Today we're diving into a fundamental concept in programming, finding the maximum value in an array. We'll use an array of student GPAs as our example. Alice, can you walk us through this process?
Absolutely, John. Let's start with our array of size 8, which contains the following values. These values represent the GPAs of our students.
So our task is to find the maximum GPA in this array. How do we begin?
First, we create an integer variable called max. Initially, we consider the first element of the array as the maximum value. So, we set max to the first element.
And then what's the next step?
Next, we use a for loop to iterate through the array starting from the second element. During each iteration, we compare the current element with our max. If we find a value greater than max, we update max. Let's walk through the iterations. Here's how the for loop looks in code.
So we start our loop with I equals sign 1 and go up to I equals sign 7, which means we will iterate over the elements from the second to the last one.
Exactly. Let's see what happens in each iteration. In the first iteration, I is 1. We compare max with the second element, 65.
Since 65 is not greater than 75, the condition evaluates to false, and max remains 75.
In the second iteration, I is 2. We compare max with the third element, 90.
This time, 90 is greater than 75, so the condition evaluates to true, and max is updated to 90.
In the third iteration, I is 3. We compare max with the fourth element, 85.
Since 85 is not greater than 90, the condition evaluates to false, and max remains 90.
In the fourth iteration, I is 4. We compare max with the fifth element, 55.
Again, 55 is not greater than 90, so max remains 90.
Exactly. In the fifth iteration, I is 5. We compare max with the sixth element, 100.
Since 100 is greater than 90, the condition evaluates to true, and max is updated to 100.
Yes, that's correct. In the sixth iteration, I is 6. We compare max with the seventh element, 50.
Since 50 is not greater than 100, the condition evaluates to false, and max remains 100.
Exactly. In the seventh and final iteration, A is 7. We compare max with the eighth element, 100.
Since 100 is not greater than 100, the condition evaluates to false, and max remains 100.
That's right.
So after completing all iterations using the for loop, we find that the maximum GPA in the array is 100. Let's summarize what we did.
First, we initialized max to the first element of the array. Then we used a for loop to iterate through the array from the second element onwards. After that, we compared each element with max inside the loop. Then we updated max whenever we found a larger value. If the value was not larger, max remained unchanged. Finally, max holds the maximum value in the array.
And that's how you use a for loop to find the maximum value in an array. Thanks for joining us, Alice. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, John. It was great to be here and share this with our viewers.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech tutorials. Until next time, happy coding.
See you next time.